The Houston Rockets are breaking basketball, and this opening chapter sets the foundation for why their approach feels like a glitch in the modern NBA matrix. While the rest of the league has spent years doubling down on 5-out offenses, hyper-switchable defenses, and guards who fire threes as casual as breathing, Houston has zagged harder than anyone expected. They chose size, brute force, and relentless pressure.
He's working, goes behind the back.
Building a structure around concepts most teams abandoned a decade ago. Instead of chasing stylistic trends, they leaned into the inefficiencies of old-school basketball and weaponized them with modern precision. But before we start, if you love basketball and you're one of the 90% who watch without subscribing, it's time to join the NBA Inside family. Click it and let's live this season together. The hook of the season is simple. The tallest lineup in NBA history is also one of the fastest in decision-making and one of the most dominant in generating high-value shots. Modern basketball theory says this should not be possible, yet here they are, scoring 125.5 points per 100 possessions so far, and hitting 42.7% from 3 in a system centered around 2 centers. Every principle the league has normalized, pace, space, switchability, and perimeter gravity, gets distorted the second Houston steps on the floor. They didn't just reject the league's direction, they ran the other way at full speed. The Rockets are proving that the path to dominance isn't always reinventing the wheel. Sometimes it's picking up the wheel everyone else threw away years ago and supercharging it with modern talent and analytics. And that's why their offensive rating, first in the league, and historic rebounding rates feel less like outliers and more like a warning shot for the rest of the NBA. Player roles, the foundation of the system. Alperen-Şengün serves as the intellectual engine of Houston's attack. His combination of post-scoring, high-post orchestration, and patient footwork allows the Rockets to initiate offense without a traditional point guard orchestrating every movement. With averages of 22.4 points, 10.2 rebounds, and 7.4 assists per game so far, he manipulates defenses by drawing help and reading rotations faster than most guards. His improved spacing, modest but meaningful, keeps defenses from abandoning him entirely. And his efficient scoring reflects how efficiently he punishes even slight defensive errors. He controls tempo, angles, and timing with a blend of brute strength and rare feel. Steven Adams provides the raw force that turns missed shots into second possessions. His screen setting, ceiling, and subtle passing reads create hidden advantages that rarely make highlight reels but constantly appear in efficiency metrics. Kevin Durant elevates the ceiling of the system. With around 25.1 points per game this season on elite shooting splits, 49.1% from the field, 41.5% from 3. He is the gravity engine. His off-ball intelligence, changing angles, drifting into soft spots, and manipulating defenders without needing the ball creates passing windows that transform Sengun into an elite facilitator. Amen Thompson adds the athletic gear the roster desperately needs. With 17.7 points, 5.7 rebounds, and 5.5 assists per game so far, he pressures defenses in transition, blowing past guards who can't match his strength and outrunning bigs who can't stay in front of him. Jabari Smith Jr. contributes connective spacing and length, though his three-point rate, around 35.4 points, is shy of nearly 40% from 3 as previously stated. Reed Shepherd offers elite off-ball shooting and quick decision-making. His 50% plus from deep has been confirmed in early sample size. Clint Capella rounds out the group as a flexible third big, providing rim protection, vertical spacing, and a mobile alternative to Adams in matchup-based rotations. The supporting cast of giants. Houston's rotation is shaped around an unprecedented concentration of size and skill. Their second most used lineup features Amen Thompson, Kevin Durant, Jabari Smith Jr., Alperen-Şengün, and Steven Adams, all listed at 6.7 inches or taller. The average height of 6'10.2 inches makes it the tallest lineup in NBA history, and it shows. Passing lanes expand, defensive contests become suffocating, and rebounding margins tilt so heavily in Houston's favor that opponents often feel outmatched physically before the ball even goes up. This group isn't just tall, they're versatile. Thompson handles the ball, Durant toggles between scoring and facilitating, Smith spaces the floor while defending multiple positions, Şengün initiates from the elbow or the block, Adams cleans everything on the glass. Their combined presence forces defenses to prioritize one threat only to be punished by another. It is basketball played with an elemental sense of inevitability. Every shot contested, every rebound challenged, every possession extended. Their physicality accumulates across games, wearing down opponents built for speed rather than force. By the fourth quarter, Houston's size advantage becomes overwhelming, turning misses into automatic second-chance points and generating a steady free-throw edge. The psychological toll is real. Teams feel outmatched even when executing properly, because Houston simply controls more space and more possessions than any opponent expects. Their constant pressure reshapes every defensive plan, forcing opponents to abandon their preferred schemes and improvise under relentless physical strain. Stats/impact. Numbers that shouldn't exist. Now we get to the numbers. And this is where Houston stops being a quirky experiment and starts entering this shouldn't be legal territory. Their offensive rating is number 1 in the league this season. They're generating 125.5 points per 100 possessions in the early going, which is already historic territory. Their rebounding dominance is even more ridiculous. Early data show an offensive rebounding rate of around 41.4%, which would be the highest in decades, and they rank first in 3-point percentage at 42.7% so far this season. Their plus-minus net rating and the consistency of their dominance so far suggest this isn't simply a hot streak. It's building into something dangerous for the rest of the league. Shot selection adds another twist. Houston attempts fewer threes than almost every other offense, consistent with their identity. Yet they shoot a higher percentage than anyone else. It's a complete subversion of the math problem that defined the last decade of the NBA. The Rockets take the shots they want, when they want, and punish defenses who assume their style should be easy to guard. Tactical analysis. Let's break down why this works beyond the raw numbers. First, their zone usage. They lean on zone heavily because their size turns even simple actions into massive challenges. Passing windows shrink, ball handlers hesitate, shooters see arms everywhere. Their length and instincts force opponents into floaters, contested mid-range shots, and rushed kickouts that rarely generate efficient looks. The defense lowers opponent effective field goal percentage and consistently nudges possessions into Houston's rebounding wheelhouse. On offense, Houston embraces chaos. They rely on decisive action, not endless swing passes. They run high isolation counts because isolation possessions are easier to rebound, with bodies already near the paint. A missed isolation shot with everyone positioned around the paint becomes an offensive rebounding opportunity. The Rockets don't fear tough shots. They embrace them, because tough shots lead to scrambles, and scrambles lead to putbacks, fouls, or wide-open threes. The synergy of their offensive identity is rooted in repetition. Every drive, post-up, or isolation is a test of defensive physicality. Opponents rarely succeed on the first attempt, and even when they do, they often lose the second and third battles. Houston's style is attritional. It wears you down mentally and physically. It turns every game into a series of collisions you cannot avoid, and that's where their personnel shines. Şengün punishes switches and doubles. Adams clears space and crashes with unmatched ferocity. Durant manipulates defensive attention. Thompson collapses coverage with explosive drives. Shepard drills threes off quick triggers. Smith stretches the floor and cleans up defensive rotations. Capella plugs gaps whenever Adams rests. Every piece fits the puzzle. The twist/surprise, weaponizing inefficiency. Here's the twist that makes the Rockets the strangest great team in years. They've discovered a way to make inefficiency efficient. They've essentially built a system that says, go ahead, contest our first shot. That's not the shot we're trying to score on anyway. Most teams try to avoid misses. Houston uses misses as fuel. A missed three becomes a scramble and a quick pass to an open shooter. A missed post-up becomes a putback or foul from Adams. A missed drive from Thompson becomes a reset for Şengün, who now has mismatches everywhere. They've essentially weaponized second chances, and because they generate so many of them, opponents can't keep up. When Houston wins the possession battle by 10 or more, which is happening more often, shot quality barely matters. Efficiency grows out of volume and pressure, not out of perfection. This is the part defenses haven't solved. You can guard their first option, but you can't guard 5 more options after that without breaking down. You might stop their first attack, but you won't stop the chain reaction that follows. Conclusion/question to viewers. So the real question becomes, will the rest of the NBA eventually copy this, or is this a one-team phenomenon, built perfectly around personnel other franchises simply don't have? Houston is proving that you can overpower the league by rejecting trends instead of following them. They're showing that size still matters when used creatively, and they're reminding everyone that basketball can still evolve in strange, beautiful, and brutally physical ways. The Rockets are defying conventions, smashing assumptions, and forcing the league to reconsider what modern basketball even is. Will defenses figure this out? Will the league adjust, or is Houston ahead of a curve no one saw coming? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed the breakdown, hit the like to help the video reach more people.